Hi everyone, happy Thursday. It's Mary from DIY Creating with Mary. And today in this video, I'm going to kind of show you how to make some shabby chic bows. So I have been mentioning this, that we were going to try out the Bowdabra, which is kind of a, I guess you would say it's a little tool to kind of help your bow making easier. I am not good at bows at all, so I wanted to find something that could potentially help me with this. I will put the link for this below, but I wanted to kind of run through the process with you and kind of show you how this works. I've only used this a couple of times, but I wanted to kind of show you how you go about the process, okay? This is going to be more for a shabby chic bow, which is kind of the bow that kind of looks like, it's kind of chaotic. It's kind of a chaotic bow. So, but that's okay. I kind of like that look. So I wanted to show you, this is the box, and it comes with, you got your directions. So you get your directions. You also have a DVD. So I don't know about you. I'm going to have to go to the online YouTube tutorial because I don't have anything to use a DVD with, but that's okay, because if you do, here you go. It also includes like a membership in their like Bowdabra VIP club, which you can sign up for. It's free for a year. They don't ask you for any credit card information, which we like that. I wanted to just kind of go through this because I want to make bows for a lot of my projects, okay? So I have been a little challenged with my bow making, so that's why I wanted to try this out, okay? So what you do with this is it's this little contraption here, and you're thinking that this looks pretty useless, and I agree. Kind of what I thought at first. I was like, wow, this looks kind of disappointing. So and it also comes with this wire, okay? So this is now I will tell you personally, you can use any wire or twine or whatnot that you want. So don't feel compelled that if you run out of this, you can't make bows anymore. You can use any thin wire, anything. This is just what they give you in the pack. So you get this little contraption, you get your DVD, your instructions, and then some of this. So they call it the Bowdabra bow wire. Okay, but you can use, I think you can use twine. I think you can use anything along those lines, okay? So, just to reiterate, we're going to be making bows today, okay? So we're going to do Bowdabra today. So like I said, I personally don't have much experience making bows, but I think it's a good thing to learn. You can use it for gift making. You can use it for any of your stenciling projects. If you do woodworking, you can use it with that. And so I thought it would be a good thing to show everyone, and we could try it out. So today we're going to make what's called a shabby chic bow. Now there are a million different kinds of bows that you can make on this, so keep that in mind. So I'm just going to show you, this is kind of what I did. I took random material I had, and I just kind of shredded it. So let me show you this. This was kind of interesting. This is called, I think it's called like clip and rip or something along those lines. So I have this like random fall fabric, okay? And so what I did here is, see how it's kind of shredded on the end? So you're thinking, well, how do you get that, right? So I have it in this kind of yellow pattern, and I have it in the brown. So I thought, oh, I'd like to use this to help me make my bow, okay? So here's what I did. So it's kind of crazy, really. I didn't realize you could do this. So I think there's a name for it, like clip and rip, or I don't know, something like that. So I just take the corner of it, and you just kind of cut it with the scissors. I do about an inch. Now watch this. Let's see if it's going to work, okay? So you're just going to pull it, and it actually will cut a shredded piece. And I know you got all these extra fuzzies on there. Don't worry about that, okay? So I thought that was kind of cool. And if you'll see, that will give it kind of a shredded look. which is what you want for this type of bow. So that was very exciting. So I thought I had to sit there and cut this with a scissors, right? You know, kind of a straight line, which straight lines are not my expertise. So I also had this yellow piece of fabric. And again, I can do the same thing with it. So what I'm doing, and I was kind of shocked at how easy this worked. And again, I know there's these little threads. Don't worry about those. You can snip those off, so no worries, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna clip it. You know, I do about an inch. You could do it, I don't know if you wanna go much more than an inch or so, but I kind of eyeball it, which is how I do a lot of my crafts. And then, see there's a slit there, and I'm just gonna pull. Work out all your frustrations with the clip and rip. That's what I'm calling it, the clip and rip. So see that? And it creates a kind of a shredded look. And you do have these little dangly threads. Just clip them off. You just clip them off, okay? So I'm just gonna take a scissors. And don't worry, when we make the bow, we're gonna actually, we can just trim off all the fuzzies. So no worries there. The whole point is though, you have the shredded look, okay? So I wanna show you this. So see, I have a bunch of pieces of this. Like this one went to town. This one is really shredded. So like I said, I just kind of take these off, take off the little extra threads, and I have these strips, okay? The whole point of the shabby chic bow is that it's not perfect, it's not precise, it's not exact. That's why they call it shabby chic. So here's another one I cut. You know, and so the beautiful thing is you do not have to, you don't have to cut this with a scissors, okay? And if you have crazy strings on there, you just trim them off. So this is supposed to look a little chaotic. So if you like things that are perfect, this is probably not the project for you. But you can still learn the bow making techniques. If you want to cut your, you know, you want to sit there with a scissor and cut your thread or your fabric, you can do that, okay? So I have these strips, okay? So I have, I don't know what I cut, 3 or 4 of them, okay, of each style, okay? And like I said, when I run across a little thready clump, I just kind of trim it with my scissors. So no worries there. So here, let me see. I'm just gonna trim that off. And so so don't lose any sleep over that, okay? So I have these shreds. Now also what I did, this is where I'm kind of improvising here, okay? So I have this piece of fabric cut. So I thought, okay, I'll throw this in there, okay? I'll throw it in there. And just so you know, I can show you how I did this. I just had a roll of fabric, of ribbon laying around. So I thought, okay, I'll throw this in there. And I had a roll of orange of this plaid, and I just cut it in half, okay? Because I'm just trying to create different dimensions, different looks, kind of to mix it up, make it a little shabby. So now see how this is squared off on the end? And again, none of this is perfect, okay? So you're gonna fold it in half, and you're just gonna cut a little triangle on the end, and you're gonna give it this kind of a more finished look, okay? So you can do that on both ends. I literally just took ribbon I had and just cut it in half because it was really thick, so I didn't want it to be that thick. There's really no right or wrong method to this, guys, so don't like panic and think, oh no, my shabby chic bow doesn't look like the next guy's. So it's okay. It's really to me, it's kind of a chaotic looking bow. So there you go. See that? So I just took, and you don't even have to finish off some of these ends. I just kind of like to because I think it looks a little nicer. But it kind of gives it like the end of a ribbon. So I'm just taking these, and again, not an exact science. That's what I love about this particular bow, is it looks chaotic, which is great. Versus a perfect. We will be making more perfect bows, but for this one, I thought it would be a good idea just to show you kind of how that works. Okay. So again, not perfect. Just trying to clean out some of the edges there. It's okay. So I have all these, okay? So I've only used this thing probably once or twice, okay? So I myself am figuring out how to do it, but I kind of wanted to go with a fall look. And then I had this big, I got a lot of these at the Dollar Tree. This one I decided I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna cut this in half. I'm just gonna leave this on the bottom. So when you use this machine, I don't know if I call it a machine, but when you use this device, I honestly was thinking to myself, wow, this is kind of a little bit of a rip-off, because I'm like, it's a piece of plastic, right? but then the more I got to use it, I was like, I don't know, this is pretty helpful, especially when you are doing this yourself, okay? So especially when you are making, you know, you're by yourself, you don't have anyone to say, okay, hold the bow while I tie the knot, right? Which is me pretty much all the time. No one else in my family really wants to hold bows for me. So I just kind of make it look like this, okay? So it's just on these couple. Now I am just winging it, okay? So this is not the official Bowdabra directions, but I just kind of wanted to show you how I would consider using this, okay? And we also are going to, you can make these any size. So if you want to make them for a smaller, you know, if you want to make them smaller, you can make them smaller. You want to make them bigger, you can make them bigger, whatever you want. And I basically took all different fall prints. I did browns and purples and oranges and yellows and greens, all the fall prints. And you know what? I don't know that I think they all coordinate pretty well. So don't worry about, you know, like matching. I personally don't worry too much about they all matching. As long as there's kind of similar colors, like, you know, you got your browns, your oranges, your yellows, your greens. So you got those all covered. So I think that's pretty good, okay? So we're gonna take these and then I'm gonna show you how you kind of use this little contraption to put them in. So you're gonna need some ribbon and fabric, which the fabric, you just do that rip and, or clip and rip is what I'm calling it, clip and rip. You do clip and rip, okay, which is what I was showing you. And then you have this little wire, or you can use twine, you can use string, you can use whatever in the heck you want. And this is more, I did this more to create a fall theme, okay? So, and I have lots of fuzzies hanging off, but that's okay. But let me just show you this. I have some other ribbons. So like these are just ribbons I had hanging around the house. Like, you know, you can use any, you know, dimension you want for this style. Now there's a lot of different styles. For other styles that may not be the case, but for this style you can. I'm personally, I think it works just fine to use different textures and depths and widths. I think that adds a lot to it. Here, let me just show you some of my other ones. See, this is really big. That's a big, thick. This is probably 3.5 inches across. So that's a really thick one. These are more like 2 inches. So I'm okay for this particular one. If you mix up the widths in that, I think it works okay. For other type bows, we might not want to do that. But for this one, we are. And I'll show you some of the other ones. Hang on, I'm going to grab over here and grab these. These are some other ones I have. Okay, this is 3.5. This is more like probably 2.5. And then, but you can, I think it's kind of looks kind of pretty when you blend all these. And you can even use these really skinny mini ones. These are really thin. They're probably 1/2 inch. So you can mix up the colors, the widths, and all that. So I think for this particular one, it's okay to do that. Some other ones I not so much, but we're gonna see how this works, okay? I haven't done this before. I've done it like a little bit, but not much, okay? I by no means would I consider myself. You could even throw in a sprig of a floral if you wanted to do that. And I have my glue gun on. At least I think my glue gun's on. And we will. Hang on. It is on. I think it's on. It's flaming hot, right? Yeah. Okay. Good. Don't touch the glue gun when it's hot. That's my tip for the day. Okay, so I'm going to kind of flip my phone around and I'm going to show you how this thing works, okay? But I'll just show you this. It just has a little slit in there and a little slit in here, okay? So it's kind of, imagine like if you have kind of a 4-way. Cut this way, and I'm just gonna, so that's kind of this device, which seems really simple. Okay, so we're gonna see how this works. And then it's also a good idea, like I make these magnetic jewelry and I have these buttons. So these are 1 inch. So if you want, you can use something like this or a button or a wooden or a flower or anything you happen to have on hand. You can use, or I have these leaves. I have a bunch of these fall leaves. We might pop some of those in there. Then there's also something called jute, J-U-T-E, or raffia. And it's kind of like hay, like straw or hay. You can also, that a lot of people use that in there, so that's an option too, okay? So you can incorporate whatever you want in there, as long as it's, long, it's long, it's the right length, but it's gonna kind of create this kind of shabby chic bow. So I kind of like this when I saw it. So we're gonna try it, okay? I don't have the raffia or the jute, but I like twine. You could use twine. I have twine. You can cut up some pieces of twine and put it in there. As long as it's a little bit stiff. Like you don't want string because string's gonna be kind of like droopy. You want it to be able to stay. Like I had these gold edges from the bow. I'm gonna toss some of those in there because they can be. You want something that can be. Kind of adjusted maybe, so just keep that in mind. So some of these have wire, like this one has wire on the end, but some of them don't, okay? My material doesn't. So it's just gonna be a blend. It's your personal taste. It's whatever you like. So don't feel limited by the options out there. So I took the liberty of cutting up some of these, and then I'm going to, and I also have a piece of the Bowdabra wire, which is just a really thin gold cord, okay? So it's not any fascinating thing. I'm sure you can get this anywhere. It's got a little like bend to it. It's got a little wire in there, so it's kind of, which is good. I think that's what you want. I cut about, I don't know, 6 inches to it. So I'm going to flip my camera and kind of show you what I'm doing, and we're gonna see how this goes, okay? And I am learning as I go too, but I thought this was ultra cool, so I wanted to kind of just show you how you kind of do this from beginning to end, okay? And you can make it any size, if you want to make it, smaller, you can use smaller pieces. If you want to use it bigger, you can use the size dimensions are pretty much up to you, but you can go from pretty big to pretty small, so no worries on that. So let me flip the camera and I'm gonna show you kind of how this goes, okay? So hold on, bear with me. I'm still not perfect with this camera. So I'm gonna flip it, hang on. I'm gonna flip the camera, just bear with me. Sometimes I accidentally, oh, hang on. Sometimes I accidentally end the video, which I don't really wanna do. Okay, hoping, gosh, can you see that? Okay, oh no, oh, see, I always do that. Let's see, I want to flip the camera. Ah, there we go. All right, so I'm still a newbie at this, so I'm going to show you. So here's our device, and this is like a wand kind of thing that you can kind of slide in here and you can press the bow down to kind of scrunch it up. So we're going to figure out how to do that, and if I can't do that, yeah, you just kind of slides in there like that, okay? So keep that in mind. And like I said, I'm still a little bit new at this, but I wanted to kind of show you. So the first thing you're going to do is you take your wire and you drop it in longwise. That's the best way I can describe it. So you're going to drop it in and it will just slide in there, okay? So now, I'll tell you how I would approach this. No one else has to approach it this way, but I tend to take my strips of ribbon and I tend to kind of rotate them, okay? So I would, you may want to start with like this big orange ribbon, okay? I'm just gonna see this big one. I'm gonna start with that one because I don't care if this one's like in the back or not. So the more you layer it up, the ones on the top part of the layer, you're gonna see the most. So I'm just gonna pinch this and I'm gonna kind of slide it in there, okay? I know, it's okay, and then one thing I would do is I would kind of center it, okay? So like you want to center it. See that? I think that's a good thing to do. Just to kind of, you want it to kind of be balanced, okay? So now I'm going to go look at some of my other bow pieces, and there is no rhyme or reason to this, okay? So maybe I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to do this brown piece. So what they say is you always want to start out, so I'm going to slide this in there, and you want to make sure that this is always face up. So see that? And if you see how it's face up, so now when you flip it back around, you're going to flip it in a loop, but you want the loop to be face up. So I don't know if that makes sense. But see how I have that whole thing face up? Okay, and you can make these strips any size you want, okay? But I'm just showing you this because this is what I have on hand. So there is literally no rhyme or reason to this. I am just layering in different ones because the whole point of the bow is to be kind of shabby chic. So that's what we're going for. So see, I'm just layering the colors. And now I think I'm going to do a yellow. So now I started the brown one on this side. So now I'm going to try and bring some balance to this. I'm going to take this one. Hang on, I have some little threads here. I'm just going to trim those off. I'm going to start on this side, okay? So it's the opposite side. Again, I'm just trying to kind of balance this out, and I'm going to flip it so that the loop is always in front of me, okay? So, and I'm just going to loop that back through, and I'm going to weave it in. See? So I'm just rotating this. The goal is you always want, hang on, I might do this one again. So you always want this one, you want it to be facing up. So no matter what side you want to, I'm just going to, so see, you kind of want it to be so that it's always facing up, okay? Which is there. Okay, perfect. So now see how I have that? So, and it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? And I am literally going in no particular order. But I am kind of trying to alternate colors. So I have orange, I have brown, I have this plaid one. Now I'm going to do this pumpkin one. And this one has some wire in it. So I am just going to pop this one in here, okay? Some of them I'm weaving in and out. Some of them I am just dropping in, depending on their length. So now I'm going to go back to a yellow one. Okay, so I have this yellow. So again, I started the yellow. Oh no, you know what? I'm going to do brown because I did yellow last. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to start it on this side, the right side, because I started the other one on the left side. And I am telling you, I have never used this thing before in my life. I've used it once, okay? So I am a newbie, so I'm going to loop this so that it is always facing. You want to try and get the colors to face up as much as possible, okay? It's not a perfect science, but if you can do it, you want to do that, okay? And if you when we do another type of bow, you're going to keep weaving it back and forth, and you're just going to twist and flip, and that's going to be kind of how you do it. So now I've decided I'm going to put this one here, okay? And so what I'm doing is there's a big stack of bows here, okay? And maybe I will do another yellow. I think I'm almost done. So because I don't want to get too crazy, because okay. So and then I'm gonna go loop this through, and I'm gonna kind of turn it so that it's always facing up, okay? All right, and maybe let's see if I have any other pieces, so this looks kind of crazy, I realize. Let's see. I think that's okay. All right, let's try that, okay? So, and then we're going to look at it and we're going to think about what might we have done different here. So I'm just going to take all those. And then they say you should take this little thingy and you're going to press it down. And you're going to scunch it down, okay? Okay, so now it's pressed down. All right, see that? This is probably 6 inches across, and you're going to pull this wire up, and you're gonna here. I tend to want to kind of tie this knot while it's in here, so we don't have bows flying everywhere. So I'm going to try to tie this knot, and don't worry, we're going to cover this. So I did one knot, and I'm just tying it really tight, and I'm going to go do another knot. And I honestly prefer to do it while it's in there. So this really works as a stabilizer. This thing works as to stabilize your bow, okay? So I'm going to do another knot. So I kind of have a double knot right now, okay? And then I think I'm going to do one more. So I got like a triple knot in here, okay? And don't worry about this wire because we can hide it. So, okay, so now we have this. So now we're going to take this out and see, we have kind of this shabby chic bow, okay? And now you're just going to play with it. You're just going to move it around. You're going to adjust it. You're going to do all those things, okay? And this is a lot of times people use these, and then the little wire you can tuck around the back. I'm actually going to leave the wire on for now because I want to see if I can tuck it. If you want to tie it to something, so I'm going to leave that on there for now. I may just end up trimming it off and gluing it, but if you see that, I'll move this out of the way. Do you see how that's kind of, the whole point of it is it's kind of chaotic and it's kind of shabby. So that's kind of the whole thing. And you're just gonna kind of adjust it and spread it out and do that, okay? So it's kind of, and you kind of all, if you see any pieces that kind of go astray, you can kind of fix those, do whatever you want. And if there is, there we go. See how that looks? So, and then you can also, and there's another way where you can do like longer pieces and you can weave it in and out. Okay, so now we're gonna, so we've got it secured on the back. You're just kind of adjust it. And the whole point of it is it's just kind of this kind of chaotic looking bow. Okay, and a lot of times if you see any excess like strings, you can go in and trim those. Like say I'm like, oh, you know what, I want to trim this. I want to make this have more of a like a bow style on the end. I can go in and trim that. So just kind of make it more of the pointed look with the tails. Okay, see how they all have the, and I see this one. I can go in and trim this. You don't have to. This just kind of makes it look a little bit more finished, okay? And then you can put these on door hangers. So you can make these bigger or smaller or whatever you want. But I do have to say, I kind of like this. I think it's very helpful in stabilizing the bow a little bit, which I kind of like. So, and the whole point of this is it's kind of a, and so you can just adjust it and spin it around and you can kind of keep it looking however you want. And again, these shabby strips of material, you don't have to finish these off. I sometimes like to, but you don't, by no means you have to. It kind of just makes it look, you know, a little more finished, but it depends on what you're going for, okay? So now we got that. See, that's kind of a, these are really popular right now, by the way, which is kind of crazy. So, because they're pretty darn easy to make. So that's kind of cool. And if you want, you see how some of these have loops? You can just take a scissors, like if you're like, you know what, I don't like the way this yellow looks, like here, like so this yellow one. If you are kind of like, no, you know what, you can just cut that, okay? And you can just kind of make it sit on its end. So see that? So you can just make it so that they all end there, okay? And we can do the same with the brown. See? So that kind of makes it so that there's no loops. So that is, yeah, I like that better. Okay, so then you have your bow, and you can put this on, you can, if you want, iron your materials beforehand. Like if your fabric is wrinkly, you can iron it out or whatnot. But you can kind of see, you kind of spread that out, and then, see, that looks kind of cute. So then what you can do is, and so all I did was I used this wire to tie it together with this, and it kind of stabilizes it, okay? So I like the way that looks. I'm going to go in and trim these. And I just eyeball things, which may be bad or good. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, and everybody has different tastes. Some people like things really crisp and really exact. Other people like kind of an unfinished look. So there's no rule. It's just basically, you know, what works for you. So, because sometimes I can be very much of a perfectionist where everything's got to be perfect. And that can also drive me crazy. So then there's sometimes that I just kind of surrender that. And I just accept the fact that it's a bow. And probably I'm the only one worrying about this. So whatever your thoughts are on that, but you can go either way on this. But this shabby one does kind of have more of an unfinished look, okay? So I'm going to leave that wire on there for now because I might want to attach this to something. So now, look at that. It's coming along nicely. And so you're just going to try to flip them all up so that they are facing up, okay? But it's okay if they're not. You're just kind of, this would be a bow that you would put on like a door hanger or whatnot. So now you have this little wire on the front. So now, what I would recommend you do, you can use something to, hang on, let me show you. Like, I had a little Michael's grab bag yesterday. Like, you can use something to kind of hide that. This is just like a little flower. You can use a button. You can use, here, this is crazy. So I make magnetic jewelry, and I have these 1-inch charms, okay? So, these are, they're metal in the back, so I can take one of them and glue them on here. So that one's kind of not a bad idea. So I can sift through my bag and I can try and find one. So I will tell you, for this type of project, I tend to like to use something that's gonna pop a little bit. So this one's kind of nice. This is made of Kyogami papers, so you just kind of, I could put that in there. I'm gonna look for some other ones, okay? And I have a whole, it's scary how many of these I have. So I have this one. This is made of special papers, so that one's kind of pretty too. So we are gonna pick some of these out, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hang those on the center of the bow. So let me go. I may just pick one of those that I have, but here's this insanity. I have a whole bag of those. So I'm gonna fish around through those, and I'm gonna try to find one that I like. So, okay, this is kind of cool. I might have to go with this one. This one, yeah, I think I will have to go with that one. So that one is kind of a, this has lots of, again, the strategy here is to go with things that have the same kind of, the same colors, but in a little different pattern. So this one, I think I'm going to go with this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my glue gun and I'm going to put that on here, okay? And then that's going to kind of finish it off. Now, a lot of times you can use like, the hobby stores will have like little wooden cutouts of leaves or of things like that. So you can use that too. And by the way, you can always add in leaves as well, okay? So you can always pop a leaf in there too. You know, you could do something like this. Here, let me show you if I get another leaf. I have these cutout leaves. So this is called having too many craft supplies, okay? So I highly recommend you actually don't have this many craft supplies. But let's see. So, I mean, you could do something like that too. You could pop some leaves on there, okay? But for today, I think we're not going to do that. I'm just going to, oh, it's kind of pretty. So we'll see if we like that idea, okay? But you can definitely do that. You can definitely pop some leaves in there, okay? And you can kind of go that route too. And you can, and then we can try this. Okay? I don't know if you can see all that. I think we're going to do that. So what we're going to do is I have these leaves. So these leaves they're floral leaves. I got these at the Dollar Tree. They're very affordable. But if you really want to make a fun fall bow, I kind of like this. I think we're going to go with this. So I have different leaves. I don't know if you guys like the matchy-matchy look. Sometimes I don't like the matchy-matchy look. Sometimes I do. Like, I could use that other red leaf because it's exact. But you know what? I'm going to resist that urge. So, okay, so I am going to now take these. You want this to be the last piece you put on there because you want it to you want this button to be decorative, but you also want it to hide all of the other stuff in here, okay? So now I'm going to go take my my glue gun, and I'm just going to, you know what, I'm going to try something here. So I'm going to see if I can sneak this leaf there. Okay, I'm going to see if I can sneak this under the wire, which I may or may not be able to do. Oh, okay, I can do that. Okay, well that makes life simple. So then I'm going to slide that one in there. And then I'm going to put a little dab of glue on there, okay? So that's going to kind of finish off the whole bow, okay? So this is what I like to do, guys. I like to blend a lot of different things, similar colors. They don't all have to be perfectly matched, but I like that look. So now I'm going to take my button, which is just a metal button. You guys, you can use extra buttons if you save buttons, if you have like extra buttons from your clothes or whatnot, you can do that. You can go with colors that kind of blend, which is where we're headed here, or you can, like this would also work, or this. So I'm torn. I don't know what to do. But let me show you one. Let me see if I have another one that would kind of, or you can make this pop more. I mean, you know, like I have lots of different ones of these, but you definitely want to have some colors that pull in. The point of this is to pull all this in, to kind of bring it all together, okay? So I'm just showing you some options that we have here. And And these are just, actually, you could also use a piece of acrylic too. So keep that in mind. I have a million different crafts, so that's kind of interesting. Decisions. So that's an option. So I'm just going through what I already have in the house, okay? A lot of this stuff, you probably already have a lot of this in the house, okay? Oh, and I even have some, okay. So I'm going to look at all my options here. This is kind of how I do it, okay? So I go, this one's kind of my favorite, but I have that cheetah print, which is very fun. I have this one, which is kind of eye-catching. I like this one because it kind of draws your eye to it a little bit, okay? I have this one. And I have, this is a little bit lighter, but it also brings in the colors. So I like that a lot. Yeah, this is made with Kyogami papers. So, and I have that one. All right, I think I'm going with this one. So, but you can go with any one you want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm just going to put a little glue down there, a little blob of glue. And if you can, like I'm gluing the leaves on and I'm also dropping the button on, okay? And then I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to center this. I'm going to make sure I like the center. You have a little bit of grace with the centering. And then after about a couple seconds, it will harden and it will set in place. And then there you have it. So that is the final bow. And I didn't think I was going to add these leaves in, but they kind of look pretty cool. So you could make this for a door hanger. You can also do this for a picture frame. Like let me show you this one. So I made this yesterday, which was another bow. But look, you could do, this is a little big for this, but you could put this on a canvas. So you can kind of do a 3D look there, okay? But this bow turned out pretty darn cool, I have to admit, okay? And this is now on there pretty securely, okay? It's a little warm. Just let it cool off and you're good to go. And this is what the back of it looks like. Okay, oh, you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to trim this one. Because I've decided I want them to hang loose. So I'm just going to do that, okay? So, and again, you can go back here. And if you want to secure this, you can't, say you're like, oh, I'm not so sure this wire, you can just drop a little glue back here. Just kind of secure everything in place, okay? Just kind of make sure the wire doesn't go anywhere. And there you go. My glue gun is my favorite tool. My glue gun and my Cricut Easy Press, those are the winners. So see, that is how it looks. And that was really, really quick, guys. I made this with materials I had in the house. And don't burn your hands on the glue gun. Okay. But I made this with materials I had in the house. That I just picked up things that I had and I blended them. And that's kind of what you get. Okay. Although I have more crafts than probably the average person. But, and then you can snip this off if you want, but I'm going to keep it on because I might attach this to something. Okay. So you can cut a little extra wire and you could attach it to something, okay? But this is one style bow that you can make with this Bowdabra. And you do get that membership included too. So I will link this because I do kind of think that this is a pretty good product. It stabilizes the bow. It stabilizes it so you can do this on your own. You don't need another person, so I love that. But I'm going to try to put that up close. I don't know if you can see that, but that looks pretty darn cute. So, and it's about, 6 inches across, I would say. So you can make this smaller or larger, but it is all a blend of fall colors. I even have some snaps that I could put in here. So just blending your colors. So this is the shabby chic bow. I believe I'm probably going to put this on a door hanger, okay? So more to follow on that, okay? So I will flip the camera back over and I'll show you how this looks. I'll just kind of hold it so you can see it. But wow, this turned out, not going to lie, turned out a little better than I was thinking it would. But I kind of wing it as I go. So I kind of just look at stuff. I kind of get a little preview of where I'm headed. And then I just kind of adjust it as I go. Okay, so here, I'll show you this. And I know not everybody likes, being kind of this chaotic look. but I think it can work. And also, I did want to tell you, you can also add sprigs of eucalyptus in there. So like I had some eucalyptus, you could add that in there in the back. You could also add, oh, and the stringies from the glue, don't worry about that, they will go away. You could also have like I trimmed this off the ribbon. You can also pop that in there. So lots of different options, okay? So I'm just gonna flip a camera and show you kind of what this looks like. There we go. So, all right, here we go. All right, so that is, we're still here. I'm gonna, hang on. I still need to work on this camera thing. There we go. So that's kind of how it looks. And it's got kind of a shabby look to it, okay? So that's kind of how it looks, okay? And just, the glue gun is your friend. Don't be afraid to use it, okay? Here, I'm gonna try and hold that there. So that's kind of how it looks. And you would just take this and you can attach it to something with this extra wire, or you could just glue it, okay? You could take the back and you can just glue it on something. This would look really good on a door hanger. So like a welcome sign. That's probably where I'm gonna use it, okay? But very quick to make. Bowdabra makes it go a little quicker, okay? Tomorrow we are going to be doing a shirt, and I'll show you what we're going to do for the shirt. We're going to do our craft club transfer, and we're going to put this on a shirt. I have the shirt in mind that I want to use, so we were going to put this, I think, on the front of the shirt, but we're going to mix it up a little, and we are going to take part of this transfer, and we're going to put it, oh, I don't know if I should reveal the surprise, but we're going to take part of this and we're going to put it somewhere else on the shirt. And we're going to see how we like it. We may or may not like it. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that, but we're gonna give it a go, okay? So we're going to put this on a shirt with ink. I think we're going to use, I haven't decided if we're going to go with black ink or white ink, okay? Because it's going to be on a blue shirt. So I think it's going to be on a blue shirt. So I haven't decided if I want to go white. So if we use white ink, that would be kind of more of a subtle look, more kind of like, oh, you see it, it's there. The black would pop more. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. This is the transfer from the September Craft Club, and I've used it many, many times, and it is still working incredibly well. What I like to do is I like to use I like to create multiple different things with the transfers, kind of in conjunction with one another, okay? So that you can kind of blend a lot of different crafts together and you can make something that's really unique, okay? Stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll do the shirt. We will do this with ink, and I will show you how we do that, okay? Ink is permanent. Just remember though that ink is permanent. You can't, once you put it on, it's permanent. But it looks fantastic, and you can make a lot of really cool things with the ink. You can make totes, you can make anything on canvas or fabric or whatnot. So I love the inks personally, and they're easy to apply. You just have to be careful that you apply them where you want them, because once they're on, they're on. So they do take a little longer to dry than the paste. So we're just going to lay it on the shirt tomorrow. Then I'm going to show you how you do the little pressing feature to keep it on the shirt. So I do love the clothes. I have a bunch of clothes that I've made using these, and I love them all, and they're cute. So we're gonna do that tomorrow, okay? And here's our bow. Bow turned out really pretty, and we're gonna do some more bows with the Bowdabra, okay? So keep that in mind as well. We're gonna do some big fluffy bows. Which I know are hugely popular. So you can use that with the holiday gift giving season. You can use that for your home decor and all that good stuff. But lots of fun stuff. And just try to use things you have around the house. Or Dollar Tree is great. All of my ribbon I got at the Dollar Tree. I think you would even get they're called jelly rolls, the little rolls of material. Those are fantastic. So if you can get those jelly rolls, those are great because they have all coordinating colors or fat quarters, anything like that will work, okay? So more to follow on that, and we will see you tomorrow, which is Friday, which I'm pretty sure I should be on. and we'll do the shirt tomorrow, okay? But take a look at that beauty. Oh, it's reflecting in the light. Sorry about that. But anyways, more to follow tomorrow. Have a good day, and I'll talk with you soon, okay? And if you have any questions or comments, post them below. I'll respond to them. And if you could let all your friends know about me in my little crafty ideas here, I would greatly appreciate that. We're not supposed to say the S-H-A-R-E word on Facebook, so I'm using the word sprinkle, so because apparently they don't like that word. So, but if you're interested in the transfers or anything else, let me know, and I will post some links and my on where I got the Bowdabra and all that good stuff for you in the next hour or so. Okay, I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.